Welcome to the PIERS Association Podcast. I'm your host, Roxy Cross, currently serving as the president of PIERS Association, and we're interviewing Heather Ellis from ChiroHealth USA, also affectionately known as CHUSA. And we're so excited that you're joining us today, Heather.
Thank you.
We'd like to know, how did this company get started in the first place?
It's actually interesting because we were born out of a personal injury case, ironically. So Dr. Ray Foxworth, who owns ChiroHealth USA, we're a Mississippi-based company. He practiced for about 35 years and has since retired, but we like to blame Mrs. Jones for why we exist. Ultimately, it was the darkest day in his practice, but Mrs. Jones was an uninsured patient. He treated her and her family for many years. She got into an accident and thus became now I'm going to work with these attorneys. This is what I'm going to do. Ultimately, though, Mrs. Jones got her hands on a copy of the fee schedules and thought, holy smokes, that's not at all what he charges me and my family. He isn't doing things the right way. What she did next was the most interesting thing because she literally came into his office with a copy of the fee schedule and presented this to him while he was treating patients and accused him of being a bad guy and ripping off insurance companies. And then she left his practice that day and turned him into the state attorney general's office. All because he decided to help her out. But what happened was she didn't understand the difference that he was billing insurance, billing these PI, handling this case, and ultimately giving her a break because she was a cash patient, right? So he thought he was doing her a favor when in reality it became the darkest day in his practice. Thus, ChiroHealth USA, also known as CHUSA, that's our acronym, was born. And it was one of those things when you just don't know the rules and regulations, that lands you in some pretty hot water. And that's why we exist today, was because of a patient called Mrs. Jones. We now know the rules and regulations. Our goal is to help other practices avoid that kind of scenario.
Excellent. Thank heavens, because you just trying to do the right thing by this patient and paid a steep price for it, I'm sure.
Absolutely. One of our core values at ChiroHealth USA is to do the right things for the right reasons in the right ways because of Mrs. Jones.
So how does the program work then from the perspective of the chiropractic physician in the clinic?
Yeah, so the chiropractors become part of our network. Think of it like we're the good guys when it comes to some insurance. I know that's kind of a naughty word these days within chiropractic, but ChiroHealth USA is a network. We function as a discount medical plan organization. Okay, so that's kind of the acronym, DMPO. And once a provider joins ChiroHealth USA, the patients join in the office. Think of Sam's Club for healthcare, right? The patient pays a $49 entry fee into the network. This allows them to get the discounts or the reduced fees that the chiropractors set up that are now compliant and ethical. And it's a network contractual discount. It makes it legal to have a reduced fee for those cash or non-covered service patients.
And then from the perspective of the patient then to participate, is the $49 a one-time fee or an annual
It's once
membership
a year
type fee?
Yep. So once a year, but it does encompass, and I'll use me as an example. It covers me, my husband, and our 4 boys. So that $49 can go a long way in a chiropractic office.
And then what happens when the patient comes in and they're part of the program?
Right. So they're entitled to receive the discount. So if we think PI for a moment here to kind of bring this full circle, what we find within a lot of those clinics who do participate with PI, auto, those scenarios, their fee is their fee, the usual and customary rate, which should be across the board. But what we find is those particular clinics will say, well, my fee for PI is $100, but those patients fell in love with me and they want to stay with my practice, which is great. And sometimes we continue to treat those patients, but we don't want to charge them the $100. Maybe we charge them the $65 or the $50. That's a dual fee schedule, and that could land you in some pretty hot water. So if you say, well, my ChiroHealth USA fee is $65, now it's a legal compliant discount that keeps you out of the hot water.
So let's talk about hot water. What do we mean when we say hot water?
Yeah. So there are rules and regulations that are out there that you need to understand how the government comes into play with these things, or even the attorneys at different levels, right? Because they're going to come back and say, well, you only charge, let's just say, we'll take it back. Let's just say there's a deposition and you're on in front of this court, and they go, well, what's your cash fee for these services? And a lot of practices, again, do have cash fees. Well, the compliant answer would be, well, we do not have a cash fee. Our fee is our fee in our office unless the patient is a part of a network. Hot water means, well, our cash fee is, $65. Well, but you charged $100 for it. Now it's not compliant. That's a dual fee schedule. It could be interpreted as an inducement violation, which could be like around a $25,000 plus violation. So
Ouch.
Big ticket money.
Yeah.
And all you wanted to do, remember, we take it back to Mrs. Jones, was you just wanted to do the right thing and help the patient. It wasn't about the dollars and cents, but somehow it always comes down to the dollars and cents, or a policy in the office too. So having a policy, compliance, all of those things are tied together.
Now, how does it work with personal injury cases? Because they're a little bit different.
Yep. So personal injury, we consider that to be a covered service, meaning that the doctor or the practice is communicating with the attorneys, like insurance, handling that through them, which means that they're going to bill their usual and customary rate. The patient is part of that, and the patient kind of goes through those attorneys, and you wouldn't need ChiroHealth USA unless the patient transitions to the cash patient. They're done with the PI case and they want to stay with the practice. And let's just say you don't participate with any insurance, but you have that cash fee. That's the hot water, meaning I charged personal injury $100, but because they're cash and I didn't have to deal with the stuff, it's $65, right? That's still a dual fee schedule.
So do you have some interesting stories you can share from the perspective of chiropractors or patients and how this has helped people?
Oh, I mean, there are lots of different stories when it comes down to understanding the rules and regulations, when it comes down to just a peace of mind in their practice. I'll never forget being in Montana, working all the seminars, and I stepped away because I go and sit in these classes with doctors because it's important for me to understand the battles or the issues that they're facing as well. And I stepped away from my booth as a vendor, and I came back to a note that said, ChiroHealth USA helps me sleep at night.
Oh my.
It gives me peace of mind. And that literally makes you tear up for a second, because ultimately all you're helping a doctor with is a piece of compliance in their office. And sometimes we forget the impact that we truly do have when it comes down to the nitty-gritty things, the small pieces in the offices. I've had practices say, Heather, I'm ready to close my doors. I don't think I can do this anymore.
It's hard.
It's not easy for new licensees. They come out of school with all of this debt, and they're just trying to figure out, how do I become this chiropractor that serves my community? No one warned me that I would have to do all of this, again, stuff sometimes called crap, to be blunt.
Because it is.
Right? They don't realize all the things that they have to jump through, or even understanding compliance. Their goal was to become a chiropractor. They want to help patients, but there's all of this list of things that they have to do to run a business. Whether I've helped someone increase their bottom line, the average chiropractic clinic that joins ChiroHealth USA within their first year, if they listen to me,
when they should.
Sometimes I call it my mom voice. I'm like, you weren't listening to mama's voice here. But the average clinic, ironically, through ChiroHealth USA within their first year, sees an increase in revenue of 20% or greater.
That is significant.
It's huge. It
Beautiful.
Make or break for a practice. Patient retention goes up too. And you think, how is it that a discount medical plan organization who allows me to give legal discounts helps with my bottom line and helps with my patient retention, because more than 50% of your ChiroHealth USA patients never leave your office. And we send them home to take a bath and eat and take care of their families. But I mean, in reality, they become those lifetime patients who refer, who bring in their families, and just absolutely love you to pieces.
I wonder if the little bit of investment is part of it. They feel connected now.
It's understanding the value of care.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we miss so often in this profession, because we know in our hearts as chiropractors that we want to give, we want to support. As a patient, they're coming in pain. They don't understand. They don't even understand chiropractic. My first experience with a chiropractor, I swore I would never go back. It was not good, but I didn't know what I didn't know. And what I know now is I don't cheat on my chiropractor, and I drive almost an hour and a half to see my chiropractor.
Wow.
Right? It is building that value. It's hands-on relationship, and that's great. And we get to be a piece of that there at ChiroHealth USA.
That's beautiful. Making a huge impact all around. So how does the implementation process work? Is it complex? Is it easy?
Oh, it is as hard as you want to make it, right? And as chiropractors, sometimes that DC stands for Doctor of Creativity.
I like that.
You're right.
I call them maverick artists.
Oh, they get so creative with processes and procedures. And I'm just like, it's really not that hard. The implementation for ChiroHealth USA, it really is easy. It's a matter of looking over electronic contract and ultimately having a conversation with myself or one of my other team members to go over what you want your discount or what you want that structure to look like, because our practices get to set their own reimbursement. So weird, you can say you're part of a network, but you get to say what you want to be paid. That's awesome, right? Because not every practice functions the same. So in all, we support your team. We go through lots of resources to support your practice, and we stay with you forever. So it takes less than 2 weeks to do it. There is no massive credentialing hoops to jump through.
Oh, thank heaven.
Less than 2 weeks.
That's got to make it much easier.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times practices will go, that's it? That's all I really had to do? I've put this off for 3 years, and you mean to tell me that was it? I'm just like, that's your fault. But yeah, it really is that easy.
Can you share any more details about the discount program then?
Well, the discount program, again, you guys now understand why we exist and understand what our core values are, which is to do the right thing for the right reason in the right ways, is to support the profession. And for us, it goes beyond putting in a discount structure. It is compliance in your office, helping with policies and procedures, training your team, because they're your first responders. They're the first ones that interact with your patients in most cases. And you never know if that's an auditor standing in front of you or on the other end of the phone. You never know, because in my opinion, an auditor looks just like Miss Betty, who you thought that, you ran into at the grocery store. So there's lots of elements of ChiroHealth USA, but the forefront of what we do is to help the profession grow, protect our practices, and just keep things clean and simple. I think that's it. Yeah.
Well, and I'd like to also bring up how ChiroHealth USA and your founder has been, I get touched by this. He has given so much back to the chiropractic profession.
You'll make me cry. Anyone ever does that.
The stories, can you share some of them? Because he's not here.
He's not here.
Let's talk about how generous.
Dr. Foxworth goes above and beyond, and he's so unassuming. I've been with ChiroHealth USA for 13 years. And he interviewed, he said, Heather, I want this to be the best job that you've ever had. But I want this to be the last job that you ever have. He's put up with a lot. But that said, he's a second generation chiropractor. His mom, Miss Betty, he's got a scholarship in honor of them, $25,000 scholarship. It's amazing what he wants to do with this profession, the things that we do behind the scenes. Again, we're ChiroHealth USA. We're a discount medical plan organization. But I like to say that's not at all what we do. When I say we support this profession, we've given well over $3 million back to chiropractic. We support Chiro Congress, which is huge for our state associations. It really is. Foundation for Chiropractic Progress. Man, they do some amazing things. Sherry McAllister, that group, touches my heart because when I grow up, I want to be Sherry.
Exactly.
But Dr. Foxworth is one of the most compassionate people. He's a visionary. Mm-hmm. Like he sees things well beyond what you could ever imagine. And he's patient. He's super patient, but he is the most giving person. So every time someone joins ChiroHealth USA, so every time a patient becomes part of our network, we're giving a huge chunk of that right back to chiropractic.
And they are better for it.
Yes.
It's so amazing. And we're very grateful that you guys are involved with PIERS Association.
Absolutely.
We're new too,
Yeah.
but we're here to make a difference and absolutely encourage our members to get involved with your program and be compliant, and then experience the growth and the generosity that ChiroHealth USA brings to chiropractic.
That's it. We're here to support. We're here to give back. We're just here to make a piece of your day easier. That's it.
Is there a piece of advice that you would have for chiropractic physicians?
Value yourselves. I don't think that chiropractors value themselves as much as they should. There are some that do great. I want to be very clear. There are some that do great. My encounters with chiropractors over the last 13 years is they just don't value themselves as much as they should. And I mean, I could go into a 4-hour seminar that I agree on this.
We are the same.
Yeah.
Same. I feel the same. They treat a patient and improve that patient's life, but that patient goes out into their circles and influences feeling better, being healthier.
It's amazing. A story that is very relatable to me was my mother. And being from Mississippi, chiropractic is still one of those things, Roxy, that falls on the bottom of the totem pole. Aww. It's really sad. We'll get there, though.
Yes.
But my mother, who was uninsured, started having hip issues. And I thought, okay, let me get her to a chiropractor. Let me see what we can do. She was ultimately a hardship patient for this practice because she didn't really have any income. We were working on getting her on some disability through Social Security. But
that takes a while.
Here's what came from my mother. And I just want everyone to imagine this little Southern woman who is 4'10", spicy as she can be. She likes to say dynamite comes in small packages. But having hip issues, referred her to a chiropractor who was a good friend of mine. She drove an hour one way to see this chiropractor.
My word.
Fell in love with chiropractic. Chiropractic was never, ever on her radar. She just thought she had to live with this hip pain. Didn't know what she was going to do. They introduced chiropractic to her, again, hardship patient, so she qualified for all of those things through the state of Mississippi. But what she did is absolutely nuts in most cases. She began taking the pamphlets from the chiropractor's office, talking about the doctors and about chiropractic care and all of these things. And she began passing these out to her circle of friends that she had, introducing her chiropractor and chiropractic to her friends. She began carpooling every Wednesday, 6 additional people to the chiropractor's office.
It's a party now.
Right? I mean, those were 6 patients that had no idea that chiropractic was even accessible to them. They weren't hardship patients, by the way. It was just this circle of friends that Betty Carroll had that she said, let me tell you about chiropractic.
Oh,
and that's what happened because she believed in something and she got the relief from it too. Ultimately, we did have to have the hip replaced, which means now she can come up my front porch stairs and take back the plants I steal from her. But I like to hang them high so she can't reach them. But nonetheless, without chiropractic, she would have never evoked any of that and been able to thrive for at least 3 more years before she had the surgery. So much that she bossed her PTs around like, this is not the exercise you should be doing for this. So she became a dangerous patient. But to me, that's chiropractic, right? You don't expect the patient to walk through your door to be a hardship patient or treat their pocketbook, rather treat the patient. And she brought them 6+ more patients every week.
What a fabulous story. What a little dynamite person your mom was.
We are neighbors.
Nice.
and I do all of those middle child daughter things to her. It's often, maybe I go rearrange furniture and things like that. But yeah, I'm that redheaded middle child from Mississippi. It's fun.
Well, we're super glad that you joined us, and we're really grateful. ChiroHealth USA is part of the no, I'm tripping over my tongue. We're very grateful that ChiroHealth USA is part of the PIERS Association community. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us. We're happy to be here.
Absolutely, Heather.
Yes.
And thank you for joining us on the PIERS Association podcast.